You did everything right. You got the degree. You put in the late nights. You show up early. You do flawless work, and you stay loyal. But your bank account? It isn't reflecting any of it. Meanwhile, the office kiss-ass, the person who spends more time managing their visibility than actually doing their job, just got promoted. Again. While others were enjoying the office, you were working hard. You believed in a simple equation. Work hard, be sincere, be rewarded. So you followed the rules. You arrived on time. You took responsibility. You respected authority. You completed tasks others avoided. You carried the weight nobody wanted to carry. And for 10, sometimes 15 years, you kept believing that your turn would come. But then you realized that you've fallen into a corporate trap. Meritocracy in the modern workplace is a myth. Being good at your job is no longer enough. Then one day, reality hit you. Not suddenly, not dramatically, slowly, painfully, like a crack spreading through glass. You looked around, and you noticed something disturbing. The people advancing faster than you were not always the smartest, not always the most educated, not always the hardest working. Some were less competent. Some were less disciplined. Some even produced less value. Yet somehow they kept moving upward while you remained where you started. Promotions, influence, connections, visibility, opportunities. The things you thought would naturally come from merit seemed to flow toward other people. And for the first time, a dangerous question entered your mind. What if hard work alone was never enough? That question changes a person. Because from childhood, most people are taught morality. Very few are taught power. You were taught to be useful. Nobody taught you how organizations actually function. You were taught obedience. Nobody taught you visibility. You were taught performance. Nobody taught you positioning. You were taught effort. Nobody taught you influence. In this video, we are breaking down the exact psychological reasons why your hard work is being ignored, and the strategic shifts you need to make this week to turn your dedication into dollar signs. Let's get into it. The corporate world rarely rewards what is hidden. It rewards what is seen. Psychologically, human beings are not objective creatures. We imagine that decisions are based on logic. Research in psychology suggests something different. People are influenced by familiarity, by social proof, by emotional perception, by status, by relationships, by narratives. A manager may spend hundreds of hours evaluating performance reports, but in many cases, his perception of you was formed long before he opened those reports. The uncomfortable truth is this: people do not always rise because they are valuable. Sometimes they rise because they are visible, and visibility is often mistaken for value. This is not corruption. This is human nature. The greatest philosopher, Niccolo Machiavelli, observed centuries ago that people judge more by appearances than reality. Most people see what is visible. Very few investigate what is true. And organizations are made of people, not machines. The system is not necessarily designed to reward goodness. It is designed to reward what the system can recognize. And often, quiet competence goes unnoticed. Meanwhile, loud confidence receives attention. This realization creates a psychological crisis, because your identity was built on a belief. If I do the right thing long enough, the world will eventually notice. But reality offers no such guarantee. History itself is filled with examples. Many virtuous people died unknown. Many flawed people accumulated wealth, influence, and power. The universe does not automatically distribute rewards according to moral worth. That is a painful lesson, but it is also a liberating one. Because once you stop expecting fairness, you begin understanding strategy. You stop asking, "Why am I not being rewarded?" and start asking, "What game am I actually playing?" you begin noticing things you ignored before. Networks create opportunities. Perception creates influence. Communication creates authority. Relationships create leverage. Competence remains important, but competence without visibility is like a treasure buried underground. Valuable, yet invisible. The greatest mistake good people make is believing that integrity and strategy are enemies. They are not. You do not need to become dishonest. You do not need to manipulate. You do not need to flatter. But you do need awareness. Because a lion that understands the jungle survives longer than a sheep that believes every creature follows the rules. The world has never promised fairness. Nature itself is not fair. History is not fair. Markets are not fair. Organizations are not fair. And yet people continue to succeed within them. Why? Because they learn the difference between effort and leverage, between activity and influence, between working hard and moving strategically. The final lesson is perhaps the most uncomfortable of all. Nobody is coming to discover your value. Nobody is secretly keeping score. Nobody is waiting to reward your sacrifices. If your work matters, make it visible. If your ideas matter, communicate them. If your ambitions matter, pursue them intentionally. Because the world is full of talented people waiting to be recognized, and recognition rarely comes to those who wait. The game changes the moment you understand it. Not when you become ruthless, not when you become corrupt, but when you stop being naive. The world does not belong to the loudest. The world does not belong to the smartest. The world belongs to those who understand how reality works, and have the courage to act accordingly. Look, at the end of the day, you didn't study this hard and work this tirelessly just to build someone else's empire while your bank account stays stagnant. The corporate game isn't fair, but now you know the rules. Stop waiting for talent to be discovered, and start making your impact impossible to ignore. Because the truth is, if a company only rewards your hard work with more hard work, and saves the recognition for the sweet talkers, you are in the wrong room. Your competence is a high-value asset. Start treating it like one. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button, subscribe for more corporate reality checks, and drop a comment below. Have you ever been trapped by your own efficiency? Stop being invisible. Go get what you're worth.